Hey guys, welcome to part 10 of the MGA restoration. Today we're going to start with the brakes on the rear axle. We're still waiting on the leaf springs to be able to mount this in the vehicle, but I figured we can go ahead and start on the brakes on both sides. Just get them all installed and ready to go so that we can put it in when it's ready. We can even mount the tires up for good and put those new chrome caps on the end while we're waiting for that. But like I said in the last video, axle is totally done. New oil seals, and it's actually filled with differential oil. Everything's ready to go on the axle. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this place cleaned up because it's kind of a mess, and then we'll go ahead and start on that. Hey guys, it's a new day. Last time we were working on the drum brakes on this one side. We're gonna get the other side done right now, but I wanted to show you what I've done since then. Just a little bit of organization and cleaning up the garage, and then we also cleared up some space because of the fridge, range, and dishwasher that were sitting in here. We're able to go down to the basement apartment, so I'll show you all of it right now. So this is kind of the corner that was cleared up. I was able to get the refrigerator, the oven range, and the dishwasher, all those boxes out of here. So we got rid of those, and then we used some of the lumber from downstairs to make this little workbench, so I can mount my bench grinder on here, and that'll free up a little bit more space over on my toolbox. Then we're also gonna get a bench vise that we can mount onto here, because I've had so many uses for that, just haven't had one yet. And then we might mount a drill press on that end eventually. So this will just be kind of the work table and just have a little bit of space. I might even make some kind of quick connect so that we can move everything back and then just work on whatever and use all that tabletop space. So, but yeah, we kind of got parts organized up here a little bit, and then over here still have the setup for the other side of the brakes. So we're gonna be working on that today. And then yeah, just everything's kind of cleaned up and organized. Move this right in the middle and then switch the body that way instead of like long ways, because it kind of divided this from this. So this just kind of gives us a huge garage space to work and be able to roll the body around and stuff. So yeah, just a lot of organization and getting stuff cleaned up, but we'll go ahead and jump back into the brakes and get these done. I'll kind of walk you through this one a little bit more and show you more about what I'm doing and how it works and stuff. So this is what it looks like with that brake rotor off. On the other side, it's already done. You can see that brake line goes all the way underneath right there, and that is our that's our cylinder, or brake cylinder. And then right up here is our e-brake lever, and then right over here is our adjuster. So that's what adjusts the pads over time. As you wear them down, you can adjust them so that you'll have brake power more quickly when you press the brake pedal. So so right here is where the adjuster goes. Right over here we have our other e-brake lever, and then this is where the brake cylinder goes right there. So we'll get all of this hooked up and kind of show you how it's done. So here's our new adjuster. We're gonna get this rubber band off and go find some nuts and lock washers that'll fit that. And then this will basically just slide in there just like that, and then we'll tighten that down. All right, so we got that adjuster mounted on there. This is what it looks like on the back. And then we just have greased up both of those little clips right there that'll hold both of the brake pads. So those will stay in there. This won't fall out when there's grease in there, and also it'll just stay lubricated throughout its life. Now we're gonna go ahead and get the brake cylinder mounted into there, and then the clip put on the back. got that wheel cylinder mounted on there, and then the adjuster right there. So now pretty much all we have to do is hook up our brake pads along with the springs. And then once those are all in, then we can put our little securing points right here with the springs and retainers and stuff. All right, so we got these brakes on there. It's kind of hard to like hold the phone and do it at the same time. But basically what we did is we have this brake pad and the other brake pad. We connected them with the springs. We had the whole thing off. Connected them with this spring and then that spring back here. And that goes from here all the way to there. And then that one up top from that hole to this little slit right there. So we connect them and then we basically hold them together and put tension on them so that the springs stay on there. And then we fit the top part into here and then the other part into here. And then on the bottom, it's kind of not really like a step-by-step operation. You pretty much just have to mess with it and get things where they need to be. So it's kind of a pain in the butt. But this e-brake lever right here that goes all the way over here has to be behind there before you actually put the brakes on around here, around the cylinder. So you basically get that back there, get the spring on there, and then you have to separate these two pads with your hands as hard as you can. And then as you slide it back to get it over these two metal parts of the cylinder, you have to make sure that this lines up inside of there and that lines up inside of there. So it's kind of a pain in the butt, but we got it on there. And once that's done, then you can put the other spring on here that holds this one and this one together. And then that's pretty much it. After that, you just have these little retainers. So there's a little clip on the back of here, just a little pin that you push into there. And then you push it all the way through here. And there's a little retainer and a spring, just like a valve spring. But you just get like a needle nose pliers like this. So you pinch it on there really tight. And then you push it in and then twist it 90 degrees and then let go, and it kind of holds it on there. So you can see by the pattern on there which way it comes out and then what side holds it in there. So, but you have one on those on each side, and that's about it. So these brakes are done. They're lubricated right here. Wherever it slides or moves or metal touches metal is where you want to lubricate it. You could even put a little bit of grease where these springs are, but it won't really be moving that much. So. You could also put some in here. I put some around the actual retainer, whatever these are called. I put some in here on these little retainer pieces right there. But yeah, right here is all greased, and on the bottom the same thing right there. Just kind of wherever metal is moving on metal, you want to grease it. So, but yeah, those brakes are done on that side, and then back here we have the brake line tightened down into the cylinder, and then our bleed screw is back in there. So. Once we get the master cylinder in up front and we have the axle in and tied in right there with the little rubber tube that goes over to the brake line, then we can actually pour brake fluid in the master cylinder and then bleed the brakes by opening each one of these little bleeder screws and then just letting all of the air work its way all the way out. So that'll be that probably won't be very soon, but we'll be getting to that once we get the body on and stuff. So. Yep, pretty exciting. We're gonna put the rotor on here and make sure that when it spins, it doesn't rub or have any sound to it. It's just a nice smooth spin. Hey, what's up you guys? I apologize that it's been a long time since we've got a video uploaded. I do have a lot of footage from a while ago. I've just been so busy doing HVAC because it's so hot outside, so had a ton of jobs coming in, but we're gonna get back to it and keep working on the MGA. I have a little bit of footage from what I've done previously. Just started to work on electrical and trying to get this engine started up. So we found a plugged up pickup tube in the fuel tank. So worked on that for a little bit to get that cleared up and freed, and that took a ton of work and kind of messed up the paint. So we've got to actually repaint it because we actually soaked it and did a hot tank as well as electrolysis to try to free up as much as we could. So anyways, we got the tank freed up now and gas can pass through it. So we'll get that sanded down, painted, and reinstalled into the car. And then from there on, we can fill up the gas and try to get gas up to the carbs and make sure there's no leaks there. And then we can go ahead and get it started, which is gonna be pretty awesome. And then only other thing is we just have to figure out our oil pressure problem, make sure there's oil pressure getting to the engine so we don't damage anything. And then we can go ahead and start working on the body and getting that ready to paint. There is a huge surprise I have for you guys that is going to be a whole nother build. I don't want to just give it away right away, but I'll kind of show you a few things on it. Maybe you can guess what it is. So yeah, stay tuned and enjoy the video. Hey guys, we're gonna call this video a wrap. I just want to get a video out because it's been a while, and I just want to start fresh with the new video and get organized on it because a lot has happened since I last posted a video. So we got the fuel tank completely done, clear coated and painted with gloss, and then underneath is primed and sanded down, so it's a lot smoother of a finish actually. So that turned out awesome. Right here's all our suspension parts that are just drying still. These don't really matter as much as far as looking good and pretty because they're going to be all under the car, but they're all coated and protected so they don't rust and stuff. Over here with the sandblasting cabinet, we got the new glass up on here and the new protective screen. We have the silicone all the way around. I used automotive RTV actually, which has worked way better at sealing it. And then over here we just have a PVC pipe going down that goes into this little bucket, but we actually hooked up the vacuum to this now, so it works way better with dust management. So this is actually kind of like an air intake almost, but it's face down so that dust doesn't spray out everywhere in case it does. But right back here, we have our shop vac that goes up and it's hooked up into the back of the blast cabinet. So it's actually sucking a vacuum, so all the dust will kind of go up there and get filtered down into the vacuum. So while we're working, it's actually just a lot cleaner of a space and the actual glass doesn't get as dusted up. So big upgrade to the sandblasting cabinet that makes it work way better. That'll help us out a lot in the long run. So we finally got those two leaf springs in, which is awesome, and we're just basically fitting them up, cleaning up the hardware for them, and then those will basically sit on the bottom of that axle, and then you mount the axle to the leaf spring, and we just gotta bend them up and get them back into place and then put the links in both sides. And then we'll hook those up to our links right there that go to the shock absorber. And then the entire rear suspension will be done. And this will be a rolling chassis that can basically, once the engine is started and stuff and we have a steering wheel on there, we could technically drive it. We just have to hook up the gas pedal and all that. But yeah, definitely gonna be cool to have all the suspension done all around. And then we'll be able to start working on the body over here and get that ready to go. So a little bit more on the new vehicle that we just got. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is yet. Some of you probably already know and have probably guessed already, but I'm just going to show you what the block looks like. So yes, it is a V8 engine and it's a 302. So this engine did not originally come in the vehicle that we just purchased, but it is an upgrade from what would have been in there. So we have a box of parts over there from that vehicle that we've already kind of ripped into. Obviously it's down to the block right now, and we're gonna be making a whole series on this car, getting it restored and looking beautiful. This is my own personal car, which is awesome. The MGA is a car I'm doing for somebody else. So I'm not making any money on it, but I will once it's done. We're probably gonna either rent it out or just sell it. But yeah, pretty exciting. So now we got 2 cars in a 3-car garage that we are restoring. So it's getting kind of tight in here, but we can definitely make it work. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll have the next video for the MGA be a lot more organized and smooth and just kind of rapid fire. I'm only doing 1 day a week on the MGA now, so we'll just do 1 video a week and just pump it out. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.